Alright, welcome to the second video for section 4.1. The reason we're doing this is because we're going to be dealing with the unit circle tomorrow exclusively, and because I don't want you to have to watch an hour and a half worth of videos tomorrow, we've kind of broken this up. This is the unit circle, and you've seen this unit circle, I apologize for that, you've seen this unit circle before in Algebra 2. Now, depending on your teacher, depends on how heavily they emphasize this. In pre-calc, this unit circle is going to be your trigonometry life because you can't have a calculator for a lot of it, and this unit circle is going to be how you make it through the no calculator quizzes and tests, things like that. A unit circle means that this radius from the center out to the edge has a length of 1, which means I can do the 4 basic points on the circle. This, if I move out from the origin out to the end, this is the point 1, 0. If I start at the origin and move up 1 unit, I'm at the point 0, 1. If I start at the origin and move left 1 unit, I'm at the point -1, 0. And if I'm at the origin and move down 1 point, I'm at the point 0, -1. Okay. These 4 points are the most essential on there as we go through. Now, eventually we're going to fill in these other points, but I'm going to do that tomorrow as we start the unit circle. Today what I want to do is fill in these 4 points, all of the degrees, and then the second line in each of these are for the radians. And we looked at converting radians, degrees to radians today. So that's what my goal is for this video, and then tomorrow we will do more with the unit circle again. Okay, now I'm going to change my color, and I'm going to put all of the degrees on. Let's start first because I think that's the easiest. I know that this is 0 degrees, okay, and I'm going to start with the main lines first. If I go up to the top, this is 90 degrees. If I go to the left, this is 180 degrees. And another 90 brings me to the bottom, which is 270 degrees. And another 90 brings me to where I started, which is 360 degrees. My guess is those 4 degrees you would not have a problem doing. Now I'm going to walk through both degrees and radians in the same fashion because I think this is the best method to doing it. Halfway between 0 and 90 is 45. So this middle line is that halfway point. So this here is that halfway point, which is the 45-degree mark. 90 plus another halfway plus another 45 makes 135. And then another 45 gets you to 180. And another 45 gets you to this middle line, which is 225. And another 45 gets you down to the bottom, which we already filled in as 270. And another 45 gets you to the middle line, which is 315. And another 45 gets you to the end with just 360. And I do it this way because this is the exact method I'm going to use for making radians on the circle as well, so I think it's a little bit easier. Now let me do the next one. This is a 30-degree increment, and each of the other lines now is a 30-degree increment. So this is 30, and another 30 makes 60, and another 30 makes 90. And another 30 makes 120, and another 30 makes 150, and another 30 makes 180. And I keep going. Another 30 makes 210, another 30 makes 240, another 30 gets us to 270. Last quadrant, another 30 gets us to 300, and another 30 gets us to 330. We end with one more multiple of 30 at 360. And this is what I really need you to know. You need to know the 45s and how to count your way around the circle with the 45s. And then you got to know the 30s and how to count your way around the circle with the 30s. If you can do that, you can do radians as well. Okay, and I'm going to switch my color, and let's do radians in like a darker green color. I'm going to start with the basics. 0 degrees is the same thing as 0 radians. We said 180 degrees is the same thing as pi. So 90 degrees is half of that pi, and we don't say half pi, we say pi over 2. Okay? So, and I'm going to use that idea to count. This is 0, this is 1 pi over 2. This would be 2 pi over 2, which reduces to a pi. If I go another 90 degrees, this is 3 pi over 2. And I go another one, this is 4 pi over 2, which is the same thing as 2 pi. And you will notice I'm making these other little pieces of work inside. I'm going to do that my whole way around the circle, so kind of keep that in mind. Now I'm going to start with the basics, and I always start with 45 degrees. Now if you wanted, you could do 45 degrees, and I'm going to convert it to a radian, times pi over 180. 45 pi over 180 reduces to a pi over 4. Now this is something flat out I'm going to be very serious. You just have to know. You have to know that 45 degrees is the same thing as pi over 4, because you cannot take the time to keep converting it every single question we ask you to do. So 45 is pi over 4. So I'm going to fill that into my unit circle, and now all I'm going to do is count 45s around like I did before. So 45 is pi over 4, and another pi over 4 would be 2 pi over 4, but that already reduces to pi over 2. So I count another 45 degrees, which is 3 pi over 4, and since that doesn't reduce, I put it in my blank. And then another 45 would have been 4 pi over 4, but that reduces to the pi we already have. And then at 225, count another pi over 4 would be 5 pi over 4, doesn't reduce, so we leave it. And then another 45 is 6 pi over 4, but that's already reduced in the 3 pi over 2. So I count another 45, 7 pi over 4, and my final one is 8 pi over 4, but again, that reduces to 2 pi. And so if you see, all I did is I counted my way around. 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4, 8 pi over 4. And again, if you can count your way around, easiest way to do this. Okay, I'm going to change my color again, and let's do the 30 degrees. Now again, let's do it once, but 30 degrees, if you convert it, 30 pi over 180 is the same thing as a pi over 6. That's another one you have to know. And I think throughout this you're going to figure out it's pretty easy. But we're going to count pi over 6s again. So 30 is pi over 6. And we counted, you see all those little red marks? We're going to do the same thing. 1 pi over 6 and another 30 makes 2 pi over 6. But that reduces to pi over 3. And another 30 makes 3 pi over 6, but that reduces to the pi over 2. And the next 30 makes 4 pi over 6, but I can reduce that to 2 pi over 3. And the next one is 5 pi over 6, but that doesn't reduce, so I put it on my blank. And another 30 makes 6 pi over 6, but we know that's the same thing as pi. The next one is 7 pi over 6. Doesn't reduce, so we put it on the blank. And the next 30 is 8 pi over 6, but that reduces to 4 pi over 3. Another 30 makes 9 pi over 6, but that reduces to 3 pi over 2. My next multiple of 30 is 10 pi over 6, but that reduces to 5 pi over 3. The next one is 11 pi over 6, which does not reduce. And my final one is a 12 pi over 6, but we know already that's 2 pi. And so, yes, there's a lot of stuff on there, isn't there? But I want you to see, and I've kind of tried to color coordinate this for a reason. The degrees, one, we expect you can do degrees already by passing geometry. We also expect that you know these 4 coordinate points, because if you know it's a unit circle, then I go 1 in either direction. The radians are a little bit harder. We're going to start out every day filling out this unit circle, so you need to make sure you're practicing it. Take a couple of extra blank ones, and again, count your way around with pi over 4s, and then count your way around with pi over 6s. And that's the biggest thing you can do to make sure that you understand the unit circle. Okay? Now I'm going to stop there. We've done degrees, we've done radians, we've done the 4 main points. Tomorrow when we do 4-2, what I'm going to do then is do this over again, plus now we're going to add in these 12 points, and I'm going to give you a quick and easy tip to remembering the 12 points. So, thank you for watching. Again, be ready because I'm going to start tomorrow's class by filling out this unit circle. Make sure you can do that.